Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 4th of December in the desert outside Quartzsite, Arizona. And it is 43 degrees outside. It's 6:41 a.m. And I'm probably going to have to stop this part way through, so you'll see a little cut because I have an appointment in 18 minutes, and I'm not going to get through this in 18 minutes. The weather is looks like 73 to 74 degrees as a high, 47 as a low, with sunny skies. A little tint of clouds on Sunday, and Monday a front comes in. And a couple of things happen. The temperatures go down from between 70 and 75 down to the mid to high 60s. And with that front comes a little bit of wind, like 14 mile per hour winds. So that's a little on the high side. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's most comfortable when the breezes hover in the single digits and the highs are low 70s, lows are high 40s. So the lows get kind of down too. We get dip into the high 30s a little bit next week, but let me tell you, still pretty nice conditions here in Quartzsite, Arizona. We're gonna have today. We have let's see. Yesterday, what did we have yesterday? Let's just see. Let's look at the list real quick for videos. Yesterday, we had. There's a little bit different format here. I have to tap more than one thing to get the list. So we had the Quartzsite Walkabout with Dottie. It's about a 17-minute video. We had the comment video. We had Lake Havasu City and Black Bear Cafe visit when I was in Lake Havasu the other day with Daryl. And school repurposing. These closed schools, in particular Detroit and California, are being repurposed as community centers, affordable housing. Kind of nice thing, good positive news. And today we have a 48-minute video that may or may not interest you. I think there'll be a big divide on people that don't care about this stuff and people that really are fascinated by it. But it's a video about how I bring my trailer here to Quartzsite Boondock. I drop the trailer and I don't move it for 4 months. Well, what do you do about your wastewater? That's what this video is about. I use a portable tote, a macerator pump, a whole system to empty my wastewater by pumping waste into a container in the back of my pickup truck and delivering that to the dump station and taking reverse osmosis water that I buy in town for $1 for 6 gallons. And I routinely bring that water back in to my freshwater tank, and of course solar and everything. That's a whole different thing. That's a different video, but it's kind of like I'm hooked up here but I'm not. I'm in the desert, so it's step by step, real time. You ride with me in the car to do the dump. I show you the dumping. It takes a little under an hour to do the entire thing from we're gonna go out and do it to I've washed up and I'm clean and everything's put away. And I do that as a single guy. Let's see. I went yesterday was the 3rd. Let's look at the calendar real quick. Yesterday was the 3rd, right? And I got here on the 14th. So 1, 2, almost 2 days short of 3 weeks. That's not bad. You're a couple. If you got hair that you need to wash, it's going to be more frequent. But I did very well. So let's hit these comments. And Don the First is the first one. On the trip to Lake Havasu to see Daryl, that was the day before. Wow, the photography is stellar and the scenery also. The sun is just bright enough. I'm loving the view today. It was a road trip view from Parker, Arizona to Lake Havasu City, and it is a spectacular drive. It really is. Road Warrior, I'm 68. It's my 6th winter in the Quartzsite area. I never pay or even register to park my rig. Mitchell Lake Yuma is okay, free with dumpsters and toilets. You can bounce around from 14-day BLM land up here Like there's down in the area that he's talking about, Mitchry Lake, Ehrenberg. You can bounce around if you're willing to move every 2 weeks. It doesn't cost a penny. And even next year when the LTVA rates go up, which they probably will, it doesn't cost you anything. So good point. Road Warrior, 6 winner. There's a man that knows what he's doing. I hope you comment more and give tips in the comments. Varion 7474. Good morning, Rob. I have a question about the effects of residency, basically regarding one's vehicles. Here in Virginia, we're required to get a state safety inspection every year, and in certain counties near large urban areas, also on emissions inspection. I believe Maryland only requires a safety inspection once, and areas that have emissions are every 2 years. I was hoping you could share a bit regarding Nevada and the particular county you'll be in. Thanks in advance. Okay, I'm in Nye County. Las Vegas is in Clark County. Nye County does not require any kind of car inspections, so you're home free there. If you're in Clark County, over the line, that's a different story. So the one thing I will warn you about are 2 unexpected expensive things. I moved from Fairfax County, which is right out Washington, D.C., very expensive area. So I thought I'd save money on car registration and insurance. I didn't save money on car registration or insurance. In fact, insurance was a little bit more in Pahrump. And I got forced out of Geico after a year. They doubled my rates, and I think I was hearing from other nomads that exactly the same thing was happening. I didn't have any accidents, no tickets, nothing, no claims, but I think they were trying to get out of the area. So I went to Progressive, and it went down to what Geico used to call me. And it's between my truck and my trailer, 2018, Ford F-150 and a 2021 Winnebago Micro Mini. My insurance runs a little over $1,000 a year for both, and I have full-timer insurance on the trailer. Progressive so far has been pretty good. I haven't had any claims. I haven't had any accidents. The car registration was I was a little stunned. It was close to $1,000 for most vehicles, and I think it goes down every year as your vehicles get older. So at this point, 3 years later, I think it was something around $500 for both, but still a little bit of a sticker shock. So I thought I'd tell you about that. Let's see. Ken Gray says, on school repurposing, I'm glad they're doing something positive in these spaces. You and me both, Ken. Mr. Aroshan, I enjoyed your comment section, but something happened to your sound setup recently, and my old ears can't hear even with the sound turned on. Now, sometimes I have sound problems, and they're legit, but this time I went out there and I listened, and I listen and compare older to newer comments. It's just all the same. So I would, Mr. Escheron, I would check your setup. Something's going wrong there, I think. And I haven't had any other complaints. Usually if there's a sound problem, people will chime in and let me know. And so I'm 90% sure that it's not a problem on my end from what I can see. But I will reserve 10% to be wrong. I'm using exactly what I'm using now every day. There's really no difference. Kenny Mankin, an old video for quite some time away, retiring early, full-time hourly tips for frugal nomad living. And he says, thank you for so much information. I'm working on it. Good for you, Kenny. Hope to see you out here someday. Philip Williams. I met Phillips in person yesterday. Philip Williams, he says, on Sunday I had to go to town to use an ATM for my 14-day pass. I went to Love's and there was no parking available. I had to circle a bit. Then I got in. It was a madhouse. That ain't nothing yet. And Love's is big. And you're just like, there's nowhere to park. Yeah, but Philip is staying here in the LTVA South, and he let me know in the comments where he was. So I got on the old e-bike, and I went and met him and his dog Scarface. And Phil, so the first time here, been here a couple of days, he's already making friends with people around him. And one of his friends was another viewer. So that was a lot of fun. It was great meeting you, Phil. And I'll see you again next time I'm on my bike. I'll stop by your place. Judy on Lake Havasu City, Black Bear Cafe. Cheryl took me there when we went for Buddy's vet appointment. That's her dog. Food was so good. We'll go again. Hi to Daryl. And Ken Gray says, was the food good? You didn't say. And I said, yes. The shots of the plates, I mean, it had to be good, right? Nancy Monderos, Dottie was being really quiet. She must have been asleep. Yeah. Let's see. Dottie went with us though. She was in the car. We didn't bring her into the restaurant or anything. When she goes in the car and we go places and leave her in the car, she just sleeps. She doesn't bark. She doesn't get upset. She's just chill. She sleeps. And we kid. I kid people with me. We'll get her in a place and go, did you even remember Dottie's in the car? And usually they say, oh, that's right, Dottie's in the car, because she's so quiet, especially if she's in the back seat. I have to really concentrate to remember she's back there for fear that, I'll leave her and it'll get too warm in there. I've never done that, but she's so quiet that scares me a little. Mr. Organic, I love your Quartzsite comment videos and weather reports. I also love your stuffed animal on your bed. That one? Dottie never moves. She must love the comfortable bed. Dottie, do you love that comfortable bed? Dottie, dog. Dottie. I got eye opening. That's the best I can do right now. She's sleeping. So I only have a few more minutes and I gotta go, but I'll be right back. All you're gonna see is a little bleep. Maybe the lighting will change a little bit. Ken Gray, such a busy day for me. Missed both small errors. Yeah, I had title errors. Instead of 1960s, I put 1060s, and instead of 12/3/24, I did 13/3/24. And I don't want people to misunderstand me when I talk maybe a little negatively about negative feedback. I'm not talking about people saying, hey, I think there's something wrong with the sound, or there's, something's misspelled, or you made a statement on there and I don't think is true. And here's my source for what I think is true. So I welcome with open arms corrections to obvious errors, techniques, and what I choose as a subject. I mean, it's okay to say, I like this video better than that one. I sure miss the blah blah videos. That's fine. But to just sort of in a directive way tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing, I'm not a huge fan. Did any of us really embrace totally being told in a directive way what to do? We enjoy being leader. I mean, someone that says, hey Rob, you put 1060 instead of 1960. That person's not directing me. They're leading me. They're being a leader. They're being a kind person and attentive. Ken Gray, stocking stuffers of the 1960s were candies and small toys. I got a push-up dog one year where you have the dog on top and you push the disc on the bottom to make them dance. You can do a search on push-up toy if you're unsure what I mean. I do know what you mean, but I never got one in a stocking, I don't think. I was trying to think the other day, someone asked me, what did you get? And I think now, I couldn't remember anything, and now some things are coming back. My dad and I were both into Matchbox cars, so I think I would get a couple of Matchbox cars in the stocking. That was and that would have been probably the most exciting thing for me, would be a Matchbox cars. I was a freak for I had the Matchbox City, which was a city that you would fold out. It was all plastic and buildings and parking garages and ambulance bays and hospitals. It was fire departments. Ken, on the wastewater, you have people like me who are just compelled to see how things work. So Ken, I think you're going to like today's video. Well, basically in the meantime here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open the my Zoom session for my 7 o'clock because it's in 4 minutes, and I want to be ready. I want to be ready, Freddie. So when he signs on, I can stop this, jump on, have my meeting, and return to you guys. How's that? How's that sound? That sound like a plan? And I think I can keep on top. All right, so we keep that over in the corner. All right. Love how she says, hurry up, here, let me out, finally open the door, here we go, time to sniff. That was when I was getting Dottie to go outside. She gets so excited when she's going to go for a ride in the car, or she's going to go outside, or she's going to eat something. On Quartzsite Walkabout with Dottie, it's 2FAY ELD. I don't know. ITSTUFAYELDM. If you can pronounce that, my metaphorical hat is off to you. Wow, nice video. Thank you. Naj, hi, Robin, Dottie, and George. My brothers used to have Johnny West and Geronimo on the horses action figures. My sister and I had Jane West. We spent hours playing with them in the yard. Still have 2 of the horses that survived us. Wow. I just couldn't part with them because of the great memories they gave me. Maybe one day they'll give them new insurance information. All right, so that was my customer sending me a message. So I'm going to cut out here, and I promise I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and Chris Lant is on Quartzsite Walkabout with Dottie. Great video as always. Sorry to hear of your medical issues, and I'm a similar boat with spinal stenosis and heart failure. But whenever I start feeling a bit sorry for myself, I think there are many people worse off than me, and just get on with enjoying life. Glad to see you and Dottie walking the desert, and the beard is coming along, makes you look quite distinguished. I've recently started growing a beard. My wife says I look like Grizzly Adams. All the best to you, all 3 of you. Thank you very much, Chris Lant. And I'm full of gratitude. I'm not bitter about my medical problems. I'm grateful that I'm about to get Medicare. I can maybe get an operation that's going to help my hip. I'm very grateful. Let's see, Virginia Hankey. When I was a kid growing up, the very first thing I ever saw on television at my grandmother's was Superman. We were too poor to have a TV in the early years. A few years later, we had a television, and the thing that I wanted to watch besides Saturday cartoon was Roy Rogers. I wanted a Roy Rogers haircut, even though I was a girl. We played cowboys and Indians all day. We had cap guns, too. My horse was a stuffed sock on a stick. Remember those test patterns on the TV before regular broadcasting? Absolutely. I remember the TV would go off at like midnight or 1 and not come on until like 6 in the morning. And for my most of my childhood, up until age 12, it was a Zenith black and white TV. We had one in the house, and it had the vertical hold problem where the picture would flip, and you'd have to get up over there and adjust it with the knob, and then, a half an hour later, it would start flipping again. And I was watching year after year Wizard of Oz and never getting the joy of seeing when she opened the door, Oz was in color, but I had a black and white TV, so I didn't see that until 1972. Virginia Hankey says they still say cool, but now it's spelled Kewl. They say cool, but they got to spell it different. On my Lake Havasu City and Black Bear Cafe, Wendy Sosa says, hey, Rob, I think my last trip there was Christmas time 2006. There was no Black Bear Diner at that time. Traffic was not too bad except during major holidays. I remember Basha's, Walmart was there. I recognized many of the streets that you drove through. When my brother first moved there in his younger days, he was a home builder in 1996 when my husband passed away. My brother wanted me and my girls to move there, but life was so different from Los Angeles, I didn't want to be that far from my parents. My semi-retired brother and nephew are real estate agents there in town now. I bet they do very well. Very expensive real estate there. It's booming. Nice head unit. Was that a Ford upgrade or aftermarket? It was an aftermarket. It was Awesafe, AWESAFE. They had one for Ford F-150 2015 through 2020, something like that. I bought that. I noticed it was on Black Friday sale. I missed it. I paid $50 too much. 1961, Dwayne. Hey, Rob, been following you for some time now and really enjoy your style of content. Next video, show you and your friends in one of the upper corners a little smaller. The sky will not be missed as this negative space. Maybe that will keep the negs more happy. I enjoy the discussion either way. Have a great week ahead. That's a good idea. Maybe moving it up in the right-hand corner might have been a better idea. It's a good suggestion. It's a kind suggestion. RV life. Not enough affordable housing in America. This is good to know. This is school repurposing. Positive news story where they're taking closed down schools and making them into community centers, and they're also making them into affordable housing. Judy Jennings. Oh my goodness. That little bit of song when you started your truck, Come Dancing for the Kinks. Had not that heard Simon in a long time. Wow, got really emotional and absolutely no clue why. Because that song triggered in your subconscious something in the event, an event in your past that was moving to you. It happens. Robert Ballard, but thanks for sharing that, Judy. Robert Ballard. Hi, Rob. Blessings to both of you. It's a really right restaurant to check out. That's Black Bear Cafe. There's nothing like a high-calorie cheesecake after a great chicken fry plate with all the trimmings. Give our best to both Dottie and George for us. Man, am I getting hungry. And those plates did look good, didn't they? Finally, let's see. Michael Guzzleman says, finally, on my way to Quartzsite on the 4th, living vicariously. Today, you're going to Quartzsite today, living vicariously through the videos for the last month. On the road with Tenzin. Can't please all the people all the time. Love your videos. No, you cannot please all the people. You can please all of the people some of the time. And but you can't please all the people all the time. I forget exactly how that goes. Robin Goff says on my 1960s nostalgia Christmas news the other day, Rob, Queen, Dottie, and King George. I was born in 1965. Toys I remember from my childhood. Battleship game. Yes. Nerf shooting toys. Didn't have those. Silly putty. Yes and yes. Multiple times. Pogo stick. Didn't have one of those. Roller skates. Didn't get roller skates. Numerous dolls. Okay. Count G.I. Joe as a doll. I had numerous dolls. Game of Trouble with the popping thing in the middle. Absolutely. Spirograph. I knew what it was. Didn't have one. Was trying not to repeat anything you said or other commenters. You know, there were a couple toys that I didn't get, but they were handed down from my brothers and sisters from the 1950s. And one of them was a 1950s full gauge Lionel train set. That was crazy, wonderful to play with. And my sisters had a, wooden detailed dollhouse with little furniture, and just, these two things would be worth a fortune today, I'm sure. Bill Wright on the dogs are creatures of habit. Take them out of their environment and change the routine. They will just get confused. We must remember they are not really aware why the routine changed, and we can't communicate the reason. Best thing you could have done exactly what you did, bring her into bed. That was when we were staying at Daryl's. Dottie was just not, even though we're in this beautiful living room and it's peaceful, relaxed, she had her bed on the floor. She could jump up on one or two couches, be right next to me, be in the couch next to me. Nothing made her comfortable. And two, we went to bed and she was fine. Wendy Sosa. Rob, I think when we were younger, we did things we didn't realize would affect us in our elder years. For 5 years in my early 30s, I drove a 1982 Mercury Zephyr with no reverse in the transmission. It worked fine in drive. So to parallel park, I'd have to reverse, stick my leg out, and push. Wendy, no kidding. Plus, I worked 2 full-time jobs for many years. Now I'm in my late 50s. I have discomfort. I have torn meniscus, sciatica, and arthritis. I stay busy and active, but I get frustrated because I can't do the same things I used to do. I hope you get complete relief from the discomfort once you have the surgery. Me too. But I hope you feel better too. Definitely saving dollars at that place. This is from... I need to clean my glasses because I can't read anymore. There must be schmutz on my glasses. This is, and there's a little glare. Shireen W. Mann. Shireen Eman. Yeah, I can't figure it out. But Shireen, I think, is there Sharon? Shireen? Definitely saving dollars at this place. When I drive from San Diego to Lake Havasu, I'd see what tents, but never stopped. This was Discount Grocery. That's an old video from last year. Great news about Dottie from Lee Rawhide. And Lee Rawhide says, watch the beans and peas as they get older, hard on the kidney. I hadn't heard that one. I'll have to look for evidence of that one. That's the first I've heard that beans and cut green beans and peas are hard on kidneys. So if anyone can back that one up, I'd be interested. Real food for dogs extends their short life so much. I agree. I believe it does. And Chuck Brewington, Dottie dedicated to her health. Steamed broccoli and pumpkin canned plain are my favorites of my buddy Larry. All right. That's a good idea. Pumpkin. Rob, thank you for this great video. Great improvements on your console. May the Lord Jesus Christ continue blessing you and Dottie. That's on the Black Bear Cafe. And Elwood, hey there, it's your buddy Elwood. Join your channel. It's also to meet your other brother, Daryl. That's funny. Have a wonderful day. Question: I was told Quartzsite is dangerous and crime-ridden. Is any truth to it? What's your experience? There's no truth to it. None. Zero. If you look it up, it says Quartzsite has a high crime rate, and all these statistics are per capita, meaning they're based on the population. Well, if you have a 2,500 person population with 1 million visitors, that statistic is going to look high, right? So it's not very, very few. So I don't have any concern about crime in Quartzsite, and I've been here several years. Let's refresh. I bet there's some, because I've been at this for a while. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a couple. Let's get down here. Oh, there's quite a few. Give me a second. All right, Don the First says, what a lovely, thoughtful idea. Yes, I am with you. They should pop up everywhere. That is today's the shop where kindness is currency. You buy things by committing to donating time to local charities. I think it's a great idea. A new to Quartzsite desert camping. Don't make this rookie mistake. It's all about the washes here. That's an older video. And Tom Dale says, thank you. And Joe Knight Rider on tote and macerator complete guide. Love the tech on your truck. Working on mine currently with one major difference being I live in the truck. And very good video, man. Kudos for showing reality unplugged cables, dead power station. But I gotta say, I prefer sawdust bucket with a bag messing with those nasty hoses. That's just me. Okay, that's good. JB Madeira says, extremely helpful video. Thank you. I've been wanting to see this video. Very informative. That is Totem Macerator. Ken Gray, what a good idea on the shop of pay and kindness. Don't hurt your back, 6 gallons heavy, boss. Buck Reynolds. Well, Buck, I think I'll be fine. Let's see. That is it. No, there's more. There's more. Ron Jovi, what if annoying neighbors move in beside you? I've been there, some moving with 5 or 6 annoying kids, riding mini bikes and bicycles in front of my dogs all day. I'd have to move. I haven't had that experience, but if you're out here and people move in and they annoy you, you certainly cannot ask them to move. They have every right to be, as long as they're not within 15 feet of your rig, they can be there all day long. And if you don't like it, there's lots of room in the desert. You can move. I'd be kind of bummed that I had to move, but I'd move. I'm just not moving because of wastewater removal. I watch this and don't even have black and gray tanks. I just like watching informative videos. Thanks, Philip. Mitch, we don't want to have any accidents. That's an understatement. Very helpful for someone like myself that hasn't done it yet. Thank you, and hats off to your camera crew. Nice upgrade to the truck screen. Good walkthrough. Love seeing how things are done. That was 12 minutes ago. Let's reload one more time. And Mitch says, Rob, off subject, but I'm curious to hear about the hummingbirds there. I notice you have a feeder set up. I do, and I haven't seen any yet. I got to be patient. They are around for sure. I saw one flying through the air nearby, but it wasn't at my feeder. So we will see. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And take care. See you tomorrow.